It's your boy, the one, Joey V.
This is Boss Dog Cigars.
This is Quentin Moore chilling in the Cigar Lounge. Have a drink with your boys and tune in. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your local hero here again, Cigar Lounge podcast. My co-host, he a bitch, but he'll be on later. I promise you. So right now, we got a special guest on. Before I even get this man on, so let me show y'all. So he makes vinyl ashtrays. He makes ashtrays out of vinyl records. Let me show you the quality in which this. Speaking of my punk ass co-host, there go my punk ass co-host.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on with that StreamYard.
Show you guys the quality of the ashtrays that he makes. So this is, I don't know how good y'all can see it, but this is Cigar Lounge. Got glare. But anyway, Cigar Lounge and podcast ashtray. Check it out on IG. It's actually made out of a real record right here. It's there you go. It's a little better right there, further away. But yeah, it's dope.
Nice.
Very dope. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first introduce yourself to everybody. Well, hold on. I keep forgetting this. It's customonial. Before we get in that, what is everybody smoking? I keep forgetting. I got Jamie Garcia, my father.
Got the Undercrown 10-year anniversary.
Okay.
I'm about to light up this El Patron.
So
okay, so let's go back now. Let's get into the show. Let the people know a little bit about you.
So name's Brendan from Rhode Island. I've collected records for since I was like 12, 13. I DJ. I've always liked cigars. I'm more of a hip hop head, and I would go to shows, buy local artist records, all this. So I was collecting for years, and how this all started was my basement flooded. East Coast problems, A lot of my records got ruined, so I didn't want to throw them out. I wanted to repurpose them because these are records that meant something to me. Where I would go to shows, buy them, local artists, and you couldn't find those records anymore. So I wanted to start, making use of them. So I started making bowls, and that was a little basic for me. And like I said, I always liked cigars. So I figured if I could make a bowl, I could make an ashtray out of it. It took a couple of years to get it right, like where it is now, for it to be practical use, find the right sealant and stuff like that. And it kind of just happened where it was a hobby at first. It was a long winter. And I was making stuff for friends that smoke cigars, and their friends saw it, their uncles saw it, whatever, and they wanted, an ashtray themselves. So I started getting requests. I figured I was onto something, and it just happened to grow into a business. But I still DJ, I still smoke cigars, make ashtrays out of damaged vinyl records.
Nice.
As I said, I like this ashtray. It's dope. You captured the logo on it. That's dope. So,
nice.
What first got you into smoking cigars?
Friends, uncles, and stuff like that. Just going to cookouts, parties, and basically just I always like the smell. It just then we would try it. We started smoking flavored backwoods, doing that first. Then we would try just Don Tomas cigars, whatever, and it just kind of evolved. And there was a crew of us that just started smoking cigars, and just going to cookouts and seeing people smoke cigars.
I think everybody started their route in high school, like a Black and Mild or a Backwood or something. And at the time you thought you was really doing something.
yeah. Especially with those Black and Milds.
Oh, then you get older, you like, what the fuck was I?
Thinking? Exactly.
They put the wood tip. They put a wood tip on the Black and Mild. We got to smoke those.
No, it's funny though. It's how your taste buds evolve, and you start to figure out what you're into, what you're not into. And you look back, like you said, back with whatever you were smoking at first, you wouldn't even look at it. So you got to start somewhere.
Yep.
I look back at a lot of my pictures like, oh my goodness, I smoked that shit. That shit is terrible.
Yeah.
Oh man. Thank goodness I grew up out of it. So So, but like I said, this is I just keep looking because this ashtray is fucking like you're the first. I ain't gonna lie. You're the first person to actually like capture like the neon in the design. I really like that. So, how long did it take you? I know you said it was trial and error. Well, how long does it take you before you think like? I don't want to say perfectly because you never really perfect anything, but you like, I got this shit.
It was probably last year when, I was always confident it would, I had a vision. And as a cigar smoker, like, if you look back how I first started, it looked cool, but it wasn't practical use. Like, I wasn't confident to, like, put it in a cigar lounge. Start a fire in 2 seconds, because, the vinyl record itself, like, here's one that's not sealed, right? And, if you put a cigar on it, it's going to burn right through everything, right? But the sealant, once I got the sealant down, it was trial and error, and I was like confident, and I was getting feedback, and I would like people that smoke cigarettes. So my friend owns a bar, and a lot of people smoke cigarettes outside, whatever, and I would just give him some for free, right? And just put his logo on it, whatever. And I built confidence by like going there like every month and checking them out, making sure they were still in good condition. You just wipe them down and they're good. So it was like last summer where I really got confident that I got this, Now it's like more of like, what else can I do with it? Like, for instance, like I started making one with like cards in it and poker chips.
Mm-hmm.
To like, for people that have like card nights, just like doing different things with it.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, that big one you did was dope as fuck too.
The what?
So,
which one?
The big one you did, the big.
Oh yeah.
That shit was dope. Like if you guys are into like music, period, I definitely suggest you look through this man catalog. He has some dope shit.
So like, if it's like, see the back here, it's a little ruined. Like, but when it's like a dope artist, like I'll leave the actual label on there. Like this is a Tupac record, it's greatest hits, and it's just these were all damaged, so it's kind of rare for me to like find a record that like of a household name artist, like a dope artist that I can make into an ashtray.
Okay.
So
that's what's up.
Like I can tell you got like you got love for the music. So let me ask you, what is your favorite genre of music to listen to if you're just trying to have a cigar and chill? Let's say have a relaxed Saturday.
So I always say this, it depends on the weather. Because like I think music like complements the weather a lot. Like if it's a laid back Saturday and I'm just lounging and trying to create some new stuff, I put on funk instrumental stuff. And I love it because it just kind of keeps me focused in a vibe. I love classic rock and I love hip hop. But I love classic rock because there's a lot of elements from different genres that go into it. Like you'll hear some drums that could be hip hop drums. You could hear some funk in there, some blues, everything. So I love classic rock, hip hop, funk instrumental. Those are my top three.
Okay.
Like when I DJ too, like on my SoundCloud, my DJ name's DJ Primitive. So I did radio for a while. I still DJ, but I made a lot of instrumental mixes for like people to just vibe out to, because that's what I was vibing out to,
Okay.
Kind
of like that chill hop.
Okay. So
yeah,
let's get into the DJing. Let's just talk a little bit about that as well. Do you find it let's see how I can say this. Do you find it difficult coming up with a set with different generations? Like compare like our generation compared to the older generation compared to the newer generation. Is it difficult, or is it just we're basically like have the same basic wavelength? Or is it totally different?
I think like, so if I do like, there's certain clubs I want to do, and certain lounges I'll DJ at, and it's like you could mix it in like the classics, and sometimes I get thrown off by newer generations that want older stuff. Like that totally throws me off. But no, I think if you have a good balance of both, you could get the crowd into it of new and old.
Yeah.
But mainly now I take gigs that I want to do. I want it to be fun. I want to like do my thing without like getting a ton of requests, like Taylor Swift stuff or something. Nothing like that. It's more like I like my old school hip hop and R&B, and I want to DJ at venues that like I don't have an owner. Like, oh, what are you playing? What are you doing? I just want to be hired to do my thing and control a crowd.
That's what's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
My favorite spot to DJ was like as a cigar smoker, it was this place called Smoke Lounge. They started off as like a hookah bar, but it was like a cigar lounge too. And it was packed and people would smoke it. It was like an outdoor indoor venue. And I was smoking a cigar, DJing. I was just in my element. It was great. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. You ever be smoking a cigar and you kind of mix it, you kind of miss your cue to switch up the mix because you be into the cigar?
Oh yeah. Sometimes you would get some ash on the mixer and turntables, and that that's no good.
Yeah.
So I wonder that.
You sitting up in there and drawing and shit. But oh shit, I'm supposed to mix right here.
Yeah, that happens. Or like I said, if someone bumps into you and your ash goes, the ash goes all over the place. I don't know how many times that's happened.
Damn, I missed the drop.
Great.
Yep, yeah, happened a lot. It's all good though. It was worth it. Yeah, that was fun.
So I see. I was always wondering that too, because we at our lounge should have a DJ come in. I'd be like, I wonder like if they get a good cigar they haven't had, and how you zone out, you listen to music. Like, do you become like just a regular person listening to the music as you're DJing? Like you be like, yeah, this song, I like this song. Oh shit, I'm DJing.
Right? No, 100%, and that's kind of like going back to what I was saying about picking where I want to DJ, because I want to vibe with the crowd. I want to be part of the crowd. You know what I mean? I want to like them to like relate to the music I'm playing, and it's just a vibe. There's certain venues like that I won't DJ at anymore because they like isolate the DJ from the crowd. You know what I mean? And that always bothered me where you play a song and people are 50, 100 feet away, and you can't really see if they're feeling it. You want to like read the crowd, see what they're doing. If you see some heads moving, like if they're into it, I'd like to be part of the crowd.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense. Almost like back in the pandemic when they had like the comedy shows and no crowd around. It's like, how's it a comedy show without the crowd, man? We got to see them laugh. We got to see how they feeling the set. But but that makes sense.
It's just crickets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, put on the jazz, put on any type of like blues or jazz with this motherfucker. You miss your stop.
Right. Well, radio too. That was when I was doing radio. I still do it, but they're fixing. There's an issue with the antenna. I got struck by lightning or something. Anyways, I would do this with 90.3 WRU with Rhode Island, and people were streaming around the world, but it was like more of a underground independent artist where no one was telling me what to play. It was music I like, so I was playing a lot of local stuff. People would send me music all the time, and I would play it. But that was like, it felt like I was DJing in my bedroom, because it was just like you're on the radio, but you're playing music you love. You get phone calls and texts at the radio station, but that was my favorite. Like, that's when I would forget I was DJing. I was playing music almost for myself, but obviously for listeners too.
That's what's up.
Oh yeah, I treat music like cigars. I'm always trying to find the next one.
Right.
That's why I always try to like find a hidden gem. So yeah, I listen to a lot of underground guys.
And that's one of the things too, is like, you might not listen to stuff you listened to 5 years ago because you evolved into like finding new artists, new producers, whatever you're into, it's kind of like cigars where the taste evolve.
Yeah.
Let me ask this: what is one? Let's do your top three. Give me your three go-to cigars. What would they be?
That's like one of my go-tos. I just love it. I don't know. It's smooth. It's got good taste. I love undercrowns. And let's see, what would be my third go-to? Maybe the Olivia Master Blend.
Yeah,
I love that.
I just had that one for the first time last week. I like their V's, but the Master Blend is good.
Yeah.
That's my first time.
I love the
I was like, oh
Master
shit, this shit is good.
All right.
Kind of reminds me of the Mia but I think it just smokes. I would put that above the Mia the Roma de Cuba.
Okay. So so you're a DJ, so you're into music, you're into cigars. Do you drink?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm more of like a vodka guy on the weekends, and like I go to a lot of breweries and I love my IPAs.
Okay. So this is the scenario. It's been a long day. You at home. You finally able to relax. What cigar, what drink, and what song are you listening to first?
Probably the Mia More. Even though I said I like the Master Blend better, that's my go-to. Double IPA, 100%. And man, there's a system that it's Kenny. It's the hip hop instrumentals called "Get On Down." I can just play that any moment of the day, and it just puts me in a vibe. You know, it just puts me in a great mood. It's just it's like a boom bap beat, but it's laid back with just a sample, just a one vocal sample, and it's just something you want to ride to. It's just something you can just lay back and listen to. Kenny Dope, Get On Down. I love that track.
That's what's up.
All right, so where do you see? Like, let me rephrase this. I'm trying to think how I can say this. What is your goal for your brand?
So there's a couple things. There's design I'm working that I want to work on. So I want to offer different designs, like something that's more of a bowl shape. You know, I got some feedback from some people in the industry where, and I do a lot of events too, where people look at them, they don't really know that it's a vinyl record until they see what's under the hood. But I want to I guess people think, sometimes they would be like, oh, those are nice plates, which they are food safe. People do buy them for like snack trays, which is funny. When I started selling on online, people would just use them as snack trays. I'm like, okay, it's a snack tray now too. But the purpose of the design was, so some people just hang them on the wall, but I want to do kind of like what I did for you is more personalized stuff. People send me their logos. People send me, I get pictures of wedding pictures that people send me for groomsmen or whatever. I want to do a lot of personalized stuff. That's where I want to go. I want to be in more cigar shops. They send me their logo, just personalized, because I think it really, connects people to the brand,
Mm-hmm.
And it's handmade. It's not like coming from a 3D printer. It's on a 3D printer. It's not it's handmade. You know what I mean? Which I think separates this brand from someone 3D printing an ashtray. You know what I mean? There's a lot of TLC that goes into this where it's I want to make it the best. But 5 years from now, I want to keep driving personalized stuff and offer new designs.
Yeah, I mean the uniqueness of it. The uniqueness of it. Are you worried
about running out of vinyl? Like the place you go, I'm imagine they have a bunch of vinyl you could use. But if you ever got a backup place in case or you just think the place you got is just like they good, like they got.
So it's crazy because when I do events or like, so I work with a record store, right? And typically they would throw out like half of them, a quarter of them, whatever. They would go through them because they're a warp, scratch, just zero value, and I would take those from them. So like, but when I started doing more events, there would be like guys that are like junk guys, that go clean out houses and attics. And they're like, we throw thousands of these away per week. You know what I mean? Like, so there's definitely people, yard sales. I always stop at yard sales and see what they have, Even I still collect records too. I still listen to vinyl. So like I'll go look for a personal like collection and also, something that would be good for trays that, if it's warped or scratched, damaged goods. So I don't think I would ever worry about that right now. Because like I said, they get thrown out by the thousands per day.
Okay.
And that's something that, you give them a little extra cash, like a junk guy or whatever that, they're putting those aside for you, and you're doing good for the, they're not going to the landfill. So it's like, good for the environment too. So I don't think that would be an issue.
That's what's up. I mean, and plus, with the antiqueness of the vinyl, kind of make it a little unique.
Hold on.
It kind of make it unique though,
right.
And it kind of make it a little bit more profitable because of even if the materials was scarce.
It was a lot of
you would get you would have a lot of profitability in it because of the type of material that you use. And it's not like mass manufactured.
Right, exactly. And what I loved about like taking these records is when they said I do an event and people aren't 100% sure it's a record. Like, you look at this, you might not think that's a final record.
No.
But when they flip it over to see like what's under the hood here, like that's when their faces light up. It's like there's a connection there. It's like, oh my God, this is like history. This is like something.
Yeah. So on the top of the ashtray, do you cover up the hole? Because I notice it at the bottom, but I don't see it at the top.
Right. So even when it's like I leave it on both sides, I'll cover it up in the back, and so here you can still see the record hole, But I do vinyl sticker printing, so I'll apply that to that, like I did for your logo. And this one I painted.
Okay.
Put some paint on it. Or I'll do like a collage of cigar bands. So the cool thing about these too, these are all unique. You know what I mean? Like I can't redo this with the cigar bands.
That's dope.
I was definitely smoking that master blend when I was making this too.
That's dope.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? And Ken, bro, got something you can do with your old wrappers. I saw he made an ashtray where he used the old cigar wrappers, and we ain't doing nothing but keeping a bunch of these motherfuckers. So
I got like about 4 of these motherfucking jars right here, just sitting here, full of fucking cigar bands.
Yeah, I got. Oh man, I will buy those off you right after the show. So that's the one thing I would be worried about getting scarce. Not they're always available, but like that's something that like I'm always welcome. Those as much as cigar, it gives me an excuse to smoke more cigars. But I try to work with cigar lounges for them to hold on to them. Sometimes that's difficult. They're doing their own thing. Some people do send me cigar bands, but that's the only thing where it's like it could get scarce, and I want to keep the supply fresh. So yeah, anyone that wants to donate some cigar bands and or I'll make a tray for you.
Oh, I got you, man.
I would love it.
I got you, man. Look,
Yeah.
Man, as much cigars
Man,
we smoke,
nothing but bands in this car, man.
much cigars as we
Those are
smoke,
nice.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just
I mean,
I have a hard time throwing cigar bands out. I could be out of town at a lounge, smoke, and I will put the cigar band in my travel humidor or in my pocket. I don't know. I don't like throwing them away for some reason. I don't care if I smoke a whole box of one cigar. I might keep every band.
that's funny.
I collect them.
Yeah,
I collect
even-
matches.
Matches,
I collect the
like
match
books of
box.
matches.
Yeah, I collect the. I
Yeah.
gotta have a
I
match
collect
box
those too.
from the lounge I go to.
So it's funny when I'm like smoking with my friends, I don't even have to ask anymore where, they immediately take off the cigar band and just hand it to me without me even asking because they just know, Yep,
That's
there you
what's
go. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's something I'm always welcome to, receive the cigar bands.
Okay.
And that's the cool thing too. There's people that, collect them and they send me, for like 20, 30 cigar bands for their own personal ashtray. And I think that's really dope where it's like, that's your personal collection. You can remember, where you're smoking some of those if it's like, a very, rare cigar, whether someone smoked it on vacation or whatever, like you got that in a tray now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's kind of one of my ideas. I wanted to do this table right here where I smoke most of my cigars. I wanted to take my band and like cover this whole table and put like the acrylic sheet of glass over top of it or something.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I'm really worried about them. Unless like if it's a boutique brand, then I'll keep the band. But if it's like a legacy brand,
Mm-hmm.
So
I got a lot of bands around this motherfucker. My girl keep asking, "What you gonna do with the band?" Mind your business, lady. Figured it out yet?
When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Yeah. I could even make one with your logo with cigar bands around it. That's a lot. Something that people request a lot. Where if you go to my Etsy shop or my website, people will send me a personalized image, whether it's them and their relatives smoking cigars, and they want me to put a collage of cigar bands around it. So I could definitely do that with logos too.
Okay.
See, there you go. There you go. The hookup, baby. Hookup. I think you should do, Ken, bro. Do the ashtray with the logo, but then like get a band from every like cigar company that was actually on the pod.
Mm-hmm. All right. You gotta remind me though. To do that. Yeah, but I want a personal one for myself with my ex in the ashtray, so I can always put my ass shot on her face.
That's funny you say that because one of the things I want to do is, I want to do a series called Ash on Your Ex. I think that's hilarious.
All right, so
could be a hit.
Go ahead.
No, he just said he was making a comment. He said it could be a hit.
I was gonna say, let the people know what do your ashtrays range from, like give them a price range.
So some people buy them in bulk, like his cigar shops that retail them. So that's a little different, but like a one-off would be anywhere from like 35 to 45, depending on how personalized you want it. Some people like want, sometimes they'll request certain cigar bands. So then I got to go on a hunt or, through my supply to try to find those that accommodate. So anywhere from 35 to 45 typically.
Okay.
Very reasonable.
Do anybody request you use a certain album?
Mm-hmm. So there's been, some people that like inherit records from, it could have been a relative that passed away or something, and they don't necessarily listen to records. Instead of just sitting on a shelf, like collecting dust, they'll have me make it, into a tray, but they'll like hang it up on the wall, So like some of these people don't even smoke cigars or smoke anything. They just want to like look at that record hang it on the wall, and just like remember their whoever they inherited from,
Okay. That's what's up.
Like I said, that's for a ashtray of this quality. That is a great price because I saw, and I ain't knocking anybody, but I saw bigger brands with lesser ashtrays charging like anywhere from $60 to $80, like with just a very small logo on it, and it was just plain white.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't handmade either. So I think it's for something that's handmade and like as far as like getting it personalized and stuff like that, I think it's fair, and it's unique. Everyone's unique. You look under the whatever is on top, you look at the bottom, and it's like each one could be one of your favorite songs, whatever, but they're all unique.
Yeah. And then the quality, like I haven't felt it before, but I know what a vinyl record feels like. But when you show it on the camera, it looks like it's glass. It looks like it's like a high premium glass looking at it through the camera.
Right. So it's like it's a resin I use, is like a high durable resin. And that's one of the things that took a while to figure out, you know what I mean? To like make sure I was confident enough for it to be in cigar lounges, people that use it all the time. And that's one of the biggest questions is like, what is this? What do you put on there? And it's like food safe, like I said, but it preserves the record. So if someone wanted it, like send me a record and, it's preserved, it's got multiple use. And, it does. And I get it when I do events, some people don't know their records right away because, they're very shiny, they're glossy, they don't really know what it is. But once they find out it's a vinyl record, that's when the oohs and ahs come out.
That's what's up. It's really high quality too, man. It looks real nice.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's what took a while.
That's suggested. Like, how did you like? I know you said the story of how you, but like, what was like you? Like to think of like, damn, that'll make a dope ashtray. Like to me, it's crazy. Like nobody looks at a record like an old like vinyl record. Like looking at a 45, like, oh, we gotta throw this away. You know what? Maybe we can make an ashtray.
Right. So it was a long winter, like I said, and it was like, I just knew like, I had this vision of taking two passions, music and cigars. And I was like, I have to make this happen, and a lot of people were like, you're not going to be able to do that. It's going to burn the record. There's a hole in the middle. How are you going to seal that? And I just had a vision. I just knew it would take a lot of trial and error, a lot of feedback, which I love feedback, whether it's good or bad. It makes you better at whatever you're doing. And I just knew it would take a while to like get that part right, So it was like, there's people that have made, sometimes at events, like, some people from the 60s be like, yeah, we used to do that in a college dorm. But I'm like, did it look like this, or was it just like a bowl that you would throw your, cigarette butts in, like, so I just wanted to make something that was very unique, high quality, multiple use, like I said, when I first started, if you go to my Instagram and you look back 2 years, 3 years, it's just like, wow, you know what I mean? Like that's where you started, And there's other products that I want to make. It's just, I'm just so passionate about this and just doing different things and staying busy with it. I'll eventually get to a couple other things I want to do, but it's just, I just love doing this,
Let's be honest. Captain Planet was in your ear like recycle, reduce, and reuse. And you say, you know what? I'm gonna make this into an ashtray.
I mean, I think it's great for, Captain Planet probably give me a high five, just knowing like, how many, I Googled it. I don't even know how they know this, but I was like, how long does it take for a record to decompose if you throw it out? and I think it said 1,000 years or something. I don't know how they figured that out, but you know, they said 1,000 years get thrown out a day. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a win-win. You know what I mean? For me to get my hands on these instead of
Exactly.
going to the landfill. You know, it could mean something to someone, and you know when they receive it, and it's just a win-win.
Now, let me ask you, how does it feel basically to be a trailblazer and pioneer? Because this is a great idea, and you're right now. I don't know. I haven't, but right now, you're the only person I see doing this. So that there's going to be more people that's going to come, and they're probably going to follow your blueprint. So how does that feel for you, knowing that you grandfathered this, and you can be like, look at all my little sons right here. I sonned all y'all. Like, how does that feel?
Yeah, it's going to be flattering because I'm waiting for it, and I got a lot of people. It's funny when someone does something with vinyl. It's like people send me images like, oh, what's this person doing? They are they trying to copy what you're doing? This and that, and I don't know. There was some guy in like South North Carolina. I guess he bought like 700 records, and someone happened to be at a record store that bought one of my ashtrays. And he's like, this guy said he's gonna make ashtrays out of it. So it's like, even I do a lot of events downtown Providence, and there's a lot of art schools. So a lot of the the college kids who come up like, so how do you do this? I'm like, blowtorch and pliers. Like I'm not telling you, but I'm sure they could reverse engineer it. But it's gonna be flattering, and I'm waiting for it. But I think what's gonna happen is if someone wanted to do this just to make money, I don't think it's gonna work out for them. I think it's more, you got to be passionate about this. You got to know where to get the records. You got to have integrity for the records. And it's just got to be something in you. Like it's just different. But I'm waiting for the day. It's flattering. It will be flattering.
Don't worry. Your Walmart gonna steal your design sometime soon.
I know you. See, you probably.
Maybe I'll be able to sell it to them. Yeah.
You probably already know because you do your research. I would suggest, like, if you're gonna try to do this, know what records you're gonna turn into an ashtray, because some of these things you think obscure is worth some money.
Right. So it's funny when I do events or like I have this banner. It's like I made sure it was like very big in font. It says repurposed damaged records. So like, if you don't collect and like if it's not just part of your life, like some people will probably grab whatever record and just heat it up. Make something out of it where that could be worth a lot of money. But I make sure I go through. This is a site Discogs where you could literally look up any record, the value, but like if it's not scratched, warped, I'm making sure I'm looking up the value of that.
Yeah. You turn a $200 record into a $10 ashtray.
Right. So there's a lot of people too. It's funny, like, oh, this is what you do to vinyl records nowadays. And I'm like, look, like knowing I hold the highest integrity for vinyl records. I still collect, and I make sure it's as big as possible where it says damaged.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a niche. I mean, because a lot of people, I mean, when they're scratched up and damaged, people don't know what to do with it, so they do just throw it away like fuck it.
Toss it.
Right.
At least you know.
And they take up a lot of space, and they're heavy. And like I said, when people inherit records and they don't listen to records, they're not like a vinyl head, and they don't have a record player, they have no idea what to do with them. So, sometimes they just want them out of the way. They get them out of there, and they call the local junk guy to get them out, and that's it. So
That's crazy because it's like almost you might have some money on your hand. I would rather try to if it's in good condition, I would rather try to sell it than just throw it out. But maybe they don't need money like I do. I don't know. That's just the way I think.
Well, I think it's like anything else where it's like, basketball cards, baseball cards, football cards, or records. you got to put in time and effort to like look them up, see what they work. You know, there's different prints. There's, you know, there's certain things that could make it work. You know, if it was printed in Germany or U.S., you know, there's special editions to records where, you know, you would have to really know
Mm-hmm.
about vinyl records to see what it's worth. And, you know, some people might not have the time or will to even go through them. You know, they might go through like
Yeah.
10, the first 10, say if they got a line of 300 records, they go through the first 10 and they're looking them up like, oh, this is worth 50 cents. Oh, this is worth $2. Like, you know, then they're like, what am I getting at here? And then this might be like, this is taking up way too much time. And
Yeah.
they might not think they have a diamond in the rough. You know?
Yeah. I'll be the type to tell you, look, if you don't want to look them up, just put them all together. Say, here, I give you $300. Give me $300. You can take all these records.
And that's what happens, you know? Man, they're happy. I'm happy. And that's, you know, I'll put in the time to go through them.
So let me ask you this question before we get out of here, because now I'm wondering, because I always wanted this with DJs. So, in your opinion, to you, this is your personal opinion, what makes a good DJ to you?
To me, there's a few factors here. One, be passionate about it, work on your craft. So there's a lot of, you know, I've been DJing for a long time, and it's like you see a lot of newer DJs, and they're kind of doing it just for the gram, right? They want to, you know, sometimes they'll DJ for free or $50 or like bar tab, where they're not really passionate. They just want to be on the scene DJing. So for me to like, I think it's looking at a crowd, reading a crowd,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, knowing their vibe instead of just staring at your laptop and just playing the next song you had planned. And you might be playing the dance floor, is being capable of reading a crowd and knowing what they want, you know, like getting them into it. And also not being scared to go like, or, you know, throw them off with a song. Like, you know, not being scared to like something you think you'll feel, but you're scared to play it because it's maybe not a very popular top 10 song, is being able to mix different stuff in, surprise the crowd, and working on your craft, you know, digging deep into genres.
Yeah. So with that being said, how many audibles have you called during a set?
Oh man. And that's one of the things I love DJing is like, I don't go in there with a set list. You know, when I do certain gigs, you don't know who's showing up, you know, you don't know. And that's what I love about it, the challenge. So all the time, you know, I'll go, you know, depending on the crowd and what I think they're feeling, all the time it's an audible, you know.
2-minute warning playing, calling plays at the line, huh?
And I love it. And I think that's honestly, I think that's where I'm at my best DJing, is when it's me trying to figure out the crowd and do audibles and stuff like that. There was a time where, you know, I DJ'd, you know, like 10 years ago, and there was this owner just wanted to hold the DJ by a string and like, this is why I want you to play. And, you know, I didn't really know that going into it. I thought he just hired me to be me and do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like one of the worst experiences. Like, I wasn't into it. I knew my set sucked because, you know, there was a lot of pressure coming from the owner, like trying to tell me what he wanted instead of what his audience wanted, you know. And that's where I'm at my worst, is like when someone's trying to tell me what to play and not being able to do audibles, you know.
That's what's up. My dad is not a DJ, and that's one of the things he always told me. You got to play what everybody want to hear. You can't always play what you like. You got to play what the crowd want.
Right. And, you know, and that's one of the biggest, that's why I'm very selective where I DJ now, is because I want to make sure when someone hires me, they're hiring me, not the owner, like just hiring a DJ with a following that like he gets to tell them what to play. I think that's just awful. You know, it's like you're not letting the DJ be the person and feel the crowd out and make sure everyone has a good experience.
That's what's up. That's the best way to do it, especially if you want the crowd to come back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. But before we do, let the people know where they can reach you at.
So it's Revibed Vinyl. So it's with a Brevibed. Some people just think it's revived, but the purpose of the name too was putting a new vibe on old records. So it's like revived. That's
Okay.
like a little slogan, putting a new vibe on old vinyl. So Instagram at Revived Vinyl. I'm on the book. Etsy shop is Revived Vinyl. You just search it, and I have revivedvinyl.com. So you could put in personal requests. You could, send me cigar bands if you wanted an ashtray out of it. You could, whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
At Revived Vinyl.
All right, that's what's up.
Well, it has been a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you being on. Appreciate this dope ashtray. If y'all ain't got one of these ashtrays, get off your ass and get an ashtray. What the fuck wrong with y'all?
Yeah. It's always great.
Bitch. I'm not the best salesman, but
it works. I might use that.
Yeah.
It's effective.
It's always.
Yeah, I might take that clip and use it in a promo video.
See?
That's okay.
There you go.
It's always great to talk to creative minds, man, because you never know like what somebody can do with what.
Yo,
I appreciate that.
As always, I'm your local hero, reminding you, blow your smoke like a goddamn gentleman and gentlewoman. We out.